Hello, hello. We'll see if people can hear me this time. Looks like they can. So I'm going to assume it's all working now. Okay. So welcome back to another SHADOWBOX development stream with me, roommate co-host, and head programmer of SHADOWBOX. So if you watched the last stream, if it hasn't been unlisted yet, basically we're having this issue in SHADOWBOX where this level, the Geological Eras Tour, which is accessible via the lobby, for some reason when many players try entering this, it just completely crashes. Sometimes disastrously, sometimes more gracefully. So basically, what my thought was, so if we just do like a quick profile GPU, so this will tell us essentially what, how long each part is taking. In building the frame. So if we go here, you can see it's taking 38 milliseconds to do this, whatever this is. It's taking 37.7 to render the scene. Hello? Yeah. And then of that, so you can see, oh, actually quite a lot of it is post-processing. Why is that? Yeah, you can see lights is taken up, half a millisecond. Volumetric cloud takes up a little bit, but it's really this post-processing. So what is this? So composite editor primitives, MSAA equals 4. So if we go here, so okay. Sorry, we're just doing some back-end things right now. There we go. So, composite editor primitives. Let's find out what those are. Editor primitives. So, let's see. And it seems like this will also be a problem in VR. G. Oh, okay. So it's literally just because of the profile. Actually, profile GPU. Okay, so it's already taking a lot less time, because what's actually taking up quite a bit of time is just rendering all the UI elements in Unreal, as you can see. So if we turn them back on, profile GPU. Okay, it's not taking too long now. But that's one thing that will not appear in the final game because it doesn't have to render all this in the final game. So what we did last time is basically put up level streaming volumes, which allow us to essentially dynamically turn on and off the different periods and epochs like that. So we've got the persistent level, which is, you know, all of this. I think these are in the Holocene. We don't have a Holocene, do we? No, I think those just stay permanently. Yeah, so everything here stays permanently. Now, another thing I tried fixing last time, but was not successful in, was here. So, I'll show you real quick what the issue is. But, basically, oh, it's probably going to start me in the middle. Oh no, I'm kind of surprised. So you can see what the basic idea with this is let's see, 17.1 milliseconds. I think that's around 30 FPS. Yeah, so bit of pre-lighting. Lights are taking up a bit of time. Direct lighting. Unbatched lights. Sun sky. Yeah, and then more post-processing stuff. So it's really mostly the anti-aliasing that's causing a lot of the issues. So you can see the laser pointers working. Oh, going to the Pliocene. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Nice. But you can see that it's sort of you are at, you know, X million years ago. Unfortunately, like, I don't know what you call it, but it like jitters a little. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that. And last time I tried doing like forced monospacing, but I don't know if that'll work. So I'm gonna try something else. So see if we can do this. So let's see, we'll say, actually, just so we capture the oops. Left, we'll say you are okay, so this is still, let me go to the function. Oh, so it's you are at. Right, so if we delete these, delete that, put that there. Now if we force monospace this, so what is it? Mono spacing? So yeah, we'll try one first. Just see what that looks like. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. I also see. That was another thing that sort of got messed up a little. Okay, so append. So we'll move that pin. Otherwise, just do that. Okay. Just gonna change that. Mono spacing. And this will be, try 0.5. We also gotta bind the color, I believe, too. Bit period color. We'll see what this does. Ooh, I think I fixed it. I just want to see and make sure that it works all the way over here too. Yep. Nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's kind of a fun little game, trying to see if you can dodge all of this stuff. Oh, sometimes it just pops out at you like that though. Okay, so this is wonderful. All right. So, go back to the beginning. All right. So, if you weren't here last time, and again, if the video isn't delisted, I tried doing pretty much this exact same thing last week, but the microphone was not working, so it's just an hour of silence. So I do apologize for that, but this time it's confirmed to work. So let's see, got the Pleistocene. Yeah, so that's the first one. So let's see. So the big thing is Pleistocene. So let's toggle them all on. So I just want to see. Sorry. Okay, here's what we're going to do. For now, we're just going to start at the music collection. Play from here. Yeah. So this, oh my gosh, should be visible from pretty much everywhere. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that looks good. So we'll also need the Pliocene visible. So you can see that sort of disappears right on the boundary. So we can see that all the way from over here too, right? Yeah. So, oh my gosh. So we'll expand the Pliocene level streaming volume. Okay, so it should be visible, we'll say, through all of this. Play from here. So now both of those should load. Yep. Now let's make sure they don't unload all the way over here. Ah, I did it again. So I'll play from here. Okay. So yes, both are visible, so that's good. And we want to make sure that we can still see all this stuff for long enough. Yeah, so Pleistocene can definitely be increased. Oh. So expand this maybe there, and move it over to here. Oh no. YouTube is being strange. Still working. Now another thing that might be done, that could be done I should say, to make this run maybe even a little faster but also maybe slower, I don't really know, would be to put all of these like walls and ceilings and floors and stuff, have those pop in as well. So I'd say probably by the Oligocene it should disappear. So it should go to like right around there. Should go right there-ish, and just expand it so that it's through all of that, we'll say. place to scene. Play from here. Yeah, I think that's probably good. Got the playa scene. So pliers, oops. Playa scene. Go to over there. All right. And then Miocene, I think, should be visible from the beginning. And then where can that end? So yeah, another thing, if you're watching and understand Unreal Engine, this weird visual glitch going on where for certain things it'll be lit perfectly on one side, but then on the other side it's just completely dark. Not quite sure why. So if you have any information on that, feel free to share it with us, either on the Steam forums for SHADOWBOX or if you're in the development Discord. They both work. So let's see, Miocene should probably end right around here, probably, right around the Paleocene. So we've got Miocene. Okay, so now let's test that. It's gonna get harder and harder the further down I go, but it needs to be done because, like I said, the basic idea is doing this should hopefully reduce the amount of stuff that the game has to load upon launch, or upon entering this level specifically, and if it can do that, it will hopefully not crash the game if you have a low amount of VRAM. So, let's see. Okay, so Miocene can still be moved a little bit. Yeah, I think that's probably good for Miocene, because it disappears like here. I think it can disappear a little further away. So we can move it, I guess, over there and expand it a little. Alright, so the next up is So this is the Miocene. Next up is the Oligocene. Or wait. Oligocene's right here. Yeah. Oligocene. No. Another thing I also wanted to do real quick is just do this. Okay. I also wanted to do this here. False. True. So let's see. Equals. Or wait, no, we need greater than or equal to. Or less than or equal to. Alright. So this is just a small edge case. But basically, here, which way do I need to go? I need to go this way. But basically, when you're really close to the edge here, just because it does math, essentially converting, you know, your position in this level to the millions of years ago, once you're really close to this edge, it can like go back to negative numbers, which it's such a small thing, but it kind of bothers me. So I'm going to see if this fixed it. Okay, it looks like it did. So there we go. There we go. So now you can't accidentally go into negative, like, 20,000 years ago, because that makes no sense. Alright, perfect. And the counting still works. Yeah, just... that looks good. Perfect. So happy with this. Now, one thing I might also do is mono space. Maybe turn this down to 0.4, just so it compresses it a little bit more. Okay, that's not going to work. Never mind. 0.5 it is. So there we go. Yeah, 0.5 works perfectly fine. All right. Okay. So Oligocene. So you should be visible. Let's say to the end of the Miocene. or yeah, end of the Miocene, beginning of the Pliocene. And then it should be visible here. Okay, so it doesn't need to be, well, okay, so we'll say to the end of the Eocene, beginning of the Paleocene, or other way around, I guess. Nice. Sorry, I'm just appreciating my handiwork. So I guess we'll just do that. Well, it doesn't need to be that long, I don't think. Put it there. Move it a little bit. Alright. So now, let's test it again from here. So yeah, you can see it appear there. I think that should be fine for now. Next up is, so after the Oligocene, it looks like Eocene. Yeah, so Eocene should probably be to the beginning of the Miocene. So yeah, essentially I'll just go through and do this process with all of these level streaming volumes to try and get them all to work so that the pop-in is, I don't want to say not noticeable because it'll always be a little noticeable, but definitely less noticeable than what it was before. So where does this end? Okay, I don't think it needed to go that far. So we can bring it back in a little, maybe to there. A little further, I think. We'll see where it ends over here to determine whether we should just move it or shrink it. Yeah, well, I'll just move it. So we'll move it just that way a little, like so. Okay. So okay, I think it's looking pretty good actually so far. Okay, so we just did the Eocene. Right. So next comes Paleocene. Paleocene. Alright, so and I'll make sure to shrink that a little. So let's see what this looks like. There we go. So that'll bring it over, I believe, to here, which I think is probably good. Can maybe be a little smaller than that. All the way over to here, which, yeah, I think that looks good. We'll test it out. So, go here, play from here. Okay. Now another thing to note if you watch it stuttering here is that since this is the editor, this will obviously run a lot slower than the final packaged game will. So it should not stutter this badly, at least in the final version. Ooh. I think this is coming along really nicely, actually. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so next is Cretaceous. Just want to see. How long has this stream been going? Because there's one other thing that I wanted to talk about that I think it's important to show. Oops, I horribly misspelled Cretaceous. But something I want to show that I think deserves to be talked about. So I'm just going to show you what the old version of SHADOWBOX used to look like. So this starts right here. So yeah, that should be like right here-ish. So around the Eocene. It's not too much further. So if we go into the Jurassic, we'll want that to be visible. Well, at least to here, I guess. So actually, this one doesn't need to be too much bigger. So let me see. Where does this one end? Okay. And it ends, I believe, over here. Yes, we can make it a little longer. So let's check with the music disc then. So we'll begin play here. So looking for Cretaceous. Okay, so that one. Nice. Uh-oh. So that's not good. See, this is something we want to avoid, is, you know, having it popping in and out while you're in the actual level. So I'll need to fix that. But just want to make sure that all of this stays for long enough. Okay. So first things first, let's go down here. And yeah, let's make sure that this covers the whole thing, like there. And this is all like edge case testing that we'll have to do, you know, a little more once it's all finished. Alright, so next, from the Jurassic we've got, or from the Cretaceous we have Jurassic. So there's that. Where should it end? So we can see the Jurassic pretty much only, well, maybe like around here-ish. So not too much further. And how far into the Triassic? Okay, you can see it pretty far. So we'll make it quite a bit longer, I guess. And then we'll move it. Oh, there we go. So let's check these areas out. Oh, that needs to be much further. How's it looking on this side? Okay, so yeah, we'll say much bigger. Alright, now let's check it. Yeah, you can see why this would take so long to load. It just has so much stuff. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I won't do this whole process on stream, but just know that behind the scenes, this is kind of what goes on. Is sometimes it's just quick little fixes, like, you know, the time walk here. Here, actually, let me fix this real quick. Just a small little thing. You know, sometimes it's small stuff like that. Sometimes it's, you know, just menial tasks like selecting stuff and moving them, and, you know, adding stuff, putting things together. So I'm super thankful that I have the main producer of this game, the real brainchild of it, Benjamin Moeller, to thank for doing a lot of this. and just letting you know that, supporting him and the PT Paleo project in any way will only make this better. So you can check it out at patreon.com/PT Paleo. Oops. Okay, so we've got the Cretaceous here. Let me see, when does the Jurassic appear? Alright, so that seems to be pretty good, actually. Oh. Okay. This next is the Triassic. Triassic can probably come out to here-ish. Yeah. So Triassic can be brought out quite a bit. So, let's see. So we'll just zoom out. This is the Triassic. Alright, we'll go probably out to like there, see where that takes us. Yeah, it can maybe be even made bigger. We're doing Triassic? Yeah. So, okay. That's what I'll do. Bring it out until it hits that. So, oops. Okay. So yeah, you can see how much more we've got to go. We're maybe roughly halfway-ish. But another thing we will be working on and are working on soon, like now, soon, but probably won't be completed for a little bit, is adding native VR support. So that, because right now we've gotten word that this game does work right now if you use the UEVR tool, which I think you can get at uevr.io. Not an endorsement of it, not saying that's like the official way of doing it, I guess, but it is something that apparently works. So if you want to report back on that, please let us know. Alright, so Triassic is still visible there. So that can be moved if necessary. Okay. I think that's far enough away. Alright. So, one thing, so I'll just save this real quick. So one thing that I wanted to show is some people may have noticed that on, if the game does crash, let's hope it doesn't, but if it does, sometimes it'll mention SHADOWBOX 3, and nobody's really asked this question yet, but I think it is an interesting one to ask. I would certainly ask it if I saw it. Is what happened to SHADOWBOX 1 and 2? And well, I'll show you real quick that I think you can see this, but there's actually a SHADOWBOX, SHADOWBOX 1, SHADOWBOX 2, SHADOWBOX 3. And so those are actually old versions. Now SHADOWBOX and SHADOWBOX 2 are pretty much blank projects that don't work, but SHADOWBOX 1, I think, is very, very interesting because it shows it's semi-completed. It was started, I'll say, but it shows what direction SHADOWBOX could have gone in, and I'm very happy it didn't, honestly, because you'll see why. It's just loading real quick. I say real quick, but it'll take a little second. Okay, so spoiler alert. So the funniest thing about this, I think, is this wind direction source. So it's got a direction for the wind, but if we play it, you can see. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So we've got Fossil Friday with some, images. Ooh, how beautiful. Look at this. It's got some nice trees. These are actually very high quality trees. Well, it's not super duper high quality, but they're there. But if you look here, what the heck is this? This is what SHADOWBOX almost was. So Unreal Engine, in addition to being a video game engine, is also used for, I think, like concert lighting, like live music lighting, sort of 3D cinematography, and also architecture. Can be used for architectural visualization. And so you can see, we almost use that aspect of Unreal Engine to make this into what looks a lot closer to a real physical museum you could actually visit. So I'm really glad we didn't go down this route, because I think one of the things that makes SHADOWBOX so great is the fact that it doesn't have the same physical limitations and constraints as like a real museum, whereas this does. In the sort of official version of SHADOWBOX, you can jump on the fossils, you can get really close to them, you can zoom in, zoom out, point a laser pointer at them. But with this, it's just essentially pictures on a wall. So I think, I'm glad we decided to break ourselves out of such a sort of linear traditional style like this, and instead went for the video game, the current version of SHADOWBOX. So I just wanted to show that. So this is what SHADOWBOX almost was. There's also, oh boy. Okay, well, I lost the level. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see, what it sort of looked like. There's a random cube here. But, yeah. It's very barren, though, besides this. So yeah, that is mostly SHADOWBOX 3 and a little bit of SHADOWBOX 1. I'm, again, not going to pull up SHADOWBOX or SHADOWBOX 2 because those are just full of errors and nothingness, so those would not be worth showing. But that's what it looks like behind the scenes a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed getting this little look at it, and maybe we'll see you next Monday. Don't forget to support the project at patreon.com/ptpaleo, and SHADOWBOX Mausoleum of Natural History is a completely free-to-play now and forever through Steam Early Access. So hope you check out the project. Thank you very much.